Howdy, I am Northern Dice and welcome to another Bloodborne the Board Game playthrough. This time this is something completely fresh to me and we are taking on the Forsaken Cainhurst Castle expansion. Managed to get my hands on this one and this one is available at retails and I'm only incorporating core game components as well, so everything that happens in the game can happen in a game for somebody who is not backed at Kickstarter level. With that, the campaign works a little bit differently in the sense that there is only one campaign in this expansion that can be played on its own. And even then, that campaign has two branching paths. It's going to get a little bit confusing for me as well, but I love the idea of it. We also have the Forsaken Cainhurst Castle rules, which say that it's got a branching campaign. You should always start by using the Forsaken Castle deck, which is the one that we're going to be playing through this time. And then we've got the Martyr's Legacy and the Queen's Legacy, depending on which way we decide to go for the second part, which I may not even play on camera because I don't want there to be any spoilers beyond the first chapter. There's also a bonus chapter that can be incorporated into other campaigns, and that is done through using the Summons Consumable card, so that will not be in this campaign per se because we don't need it, we are just playing at Cainhurst Castle. It also has a set of rules that talk about this strange symbol. Still cannot figure out what it is, but it says these are specific to this chapter, this campaign, and should not be used in any others. So if we do get as far as seeing those as well, we will be only seeing them in this campaign. Our complete setup this time is different. I've decided to go with just a single camera because the iPad has died, but potato quality over 4K, I think I'll stick with 4K. Also, we have got the board set up for the chapter. We've got our hunter set up, and of course, for a change, I've gone for the threaded cane hunter because I love it. We are ready to go, basically, I believe, but I will give you a rundown of all the decisions that have been made. So, here is the instruction card for the Forsaken Cainhurst Castle chapter. A place far from the cobblestone streets of Yarnham, a distant castle overtaken by bitter cold and long abandoned. Visions of a massacre, of nobles and servants, once mighty and blood-drunk, now cut down like common prey. What is this place? And why does it beckon you, sir? There's your instruction. We'll pop that to one side. And then we have the setup, and of course these are the tiles that we're required to use and the 3 random enemies that are non-Cainhurst enemies. So we might not even see any Cainhurst expansion enemies in this. But it's the start, we never know, and we know how these can go. You can be changing things left, right and centre. So for this campaign, I have decided to punish myself as ever, and we have got these 3 nasties. We have the Church Giant, but we have not gone for the instant kill effect. Instead, we have gone for the one that can do a gradual amount of damage, cannot be staggered, and just ruins your day. We've gone for the Church Servant with the stun side, not the frenzy side. And we have also gone for the Male Beast Patient with the Death Rattle and of course his pack ability. Put those back where they were. And we'll kick off with card number, I think it just straight up says, yeah. You just start with card number 1. There are no insight missions revealed immediately beyond this one, but additional missions will be revealed by the hunt mission. So to kick off, we're going to reveal card 1. I'll pop that there, but we may end up moving stuff. This is a new setup to me, but it means that you guys can see everything as it happens. So, card 1. Forsaken Summons. There is only one place that matches the visions in your mind, a place spoken of only in legend and hidden histories. Cainhurst. This place holds special importance to hunters of the Executioner's Covenant. Fortunately, you may just know where to find one. End move on the graveyard tile. Reveal card 2. That is all we've got to go on, unfortunately for us, but in some respects it could be quite a little bit of an adventure. So, I will grab my 12 cards. It is a standard deck for players. Nothing has been changed, nothing added. This is not a follow-on campaign, this is a campaign fresh. So we'll deal our first 3 cards and see where we manage to go. We have got a dodge, a stagger, and a basic draw 1. What I'm going to choose to do is, just for a change, we are going to use that draw 1 to move 2. And we are going to go this way. Reveal the tile, and we get the Grand Cathedral. Hello. 1. That's not somewhere we want to be. 2. On the plus side, it's cut off our travels, but in some respects, a bit of an annoyance. Let's spend this stagger to see if we can't get a little bit further. And this time we are going to go this way. Untitled Chapel. 1, 2. Are you noticing that we are in a position where we've got 3 lamps out straight away and they're right next to each other? That is the look of the draw in this game. The look of the draw. Well, we'll use this last one to once again move 2. And we have managed to hit a dead end. How am I going to position this best? We may be better doing it this way. I'll move this down. Going to be a lot of feng shui going on. And unfortunately for us, we have a church giant on our tile. That would have been 1, 2. So we end our move on his spot. Looking kind of nasty already. So that is my hunter's activation finished, which means that we would move on to the enemy activation. I haven't shuffled these as of yet, so I'll do it now. And hopefully we'll see something relatively gentle, or maybe that ability that would do us some favours. A basic, which is 1 speed, 4 damage. If dodged, hunter's attack is +1. Well, we're not going to dodge because we have no card, so we're going to take 4 damage straight away, which is pretty awful. Round ends, the track advances. I have found that token, it is upstairs. I don't want to go get it because I hate it. Still think it's the worst component in this game. I will be 3D printing myself a little one, which will probably be the exact same, but I think because I've printed it, it'll have a bit more, I don't know, I'll be a little bit more attached to it. Anyway, so we have our draw 1, +1 attack. Now we could try and take him out. We're going to be looking at 6 damage to kill him, or we could run. But because we're in a position where no matter what happens, there's a chance he'll get an attack off on us, we may be best just trying to get out of there and have a bit more of an adventure. So what I'm going to propose we do is go that way. I believe he only advances 1 in any move, so that would be quite handy. So let's spend the draw 1 and we'll move 1. He will follow us. Draw the tile for 2. Okay, that's not too bad. The Courtyard Lamp. 2. We'll spend this draw 1 to move again. Yosefka's Clinic, okay. Bit more on that feng shui. But frustratingly, that does mean that's a dead end, and that's not somewhere we want to be as of yet. That would have been 1, 2. If we move back onto that spot, what does this say? Once during their turn, the hunter may suffer 1 damage to draw 1 card. We're going to do that. We're going to take the damage to draw a card. Not because it gives us a bit more scope to attack, but because it gives us more scope to escape. And I'll spend that stagger to move 1, 2. And I'll spend this basic +1. I know I'm probably going to die. To go, yep, there we go. One, 2. And we have managed to find a nasty church servant who is definitely going to be handing out a little bit of pain to us. We've moved a long way from Central Lamp, and you know what? I've got 1 tile left. And that tells me this tile is definitely going to be that graveyard that we were looking for. Frustrating, but we've got the map up straight away. We know exactly where everything is. That's the end of my hunter's turn. This guy, need to stock that with an item, would move 1 towards us, and he would activate. The church servant will hit us with his ability, which says, Hunter suffers frenzy, and if the hunter has already suffered frenzy, they suffer stun instead. So we will get a frenzy token, which means that we suffer extra damage. Or does it mean that our attacks are 1 less in damage? Just double check. It is +1 damage from all attacks. And if we suffer a second frenzy, we are going to, according to this, suffer stun instead. But we flip another action regardless. Theirs is basic, that's 3 damage. That is us dead, dead, dead. 1, 2, 3, all gone. So we would go back to the Hunter's Dream, and the track would advance for our death. Then the track would advance for the end of the round. But I am seeing a little bit of benefit there, because it means that, in some respects, I can actually organise this a bit better. So if we move all this way, move these 2 this way, move this way, there we go. When we come back in, which we'll do now, we have got no blood echoes to spend, but I will be able to reset all my cards. This is the problem I found with 4-player. 4-player, we all just ran off and got all, well, it was just 2 of us with 2 characters, but we just built the map immediately. And that, in turn, resulted in us suffering quite heavily at the hands of enemies. On the flip side, though, we seem to have gone quite light on enemies here, which tells me that chances are we're going to have to fight other things instead. 1, 2, 3. And we got basic, stagger and a dodge. That's not too shabby. We'll spend that draw 1 just for a change to move. And we get, oh look at that, it's the graveyard. What a surprise. And that is our little beastie boy. Put that there. 1, and I'll end my movement. And of course, this said, end a move on the graveyard tile, reveal card 2, which is what we'll do straight away. And we've got Hunt Mission. Cainhurst, oh yes, I know of it very well. It is a forsaken and evil place, home to the vile bloods. Put your tongue back in your mouth, man. My fellow executioners purged it a long ago. At great cost, such evil refused to die. Our noble master, Ligarius, stayed to contain it. The ruler of the vile bloods is still alive today. To honour my master's wishes, I search for the path to the castle. Place the Alfred token in the graveyard space. Do not discard this card until instructed to do so. Then we need to end a move on the Grand Cathedral or end a move on Yosefka's clinic. Reveal card 3 or reveal card 5. Or is that both of those? Might be both. So we need old Alfred. There he is, looking handsome as ever. Our blonde little super friend, who's definitely up to no good, because everyone is in this game. And now we're in a position where we can actually do a bit of combat, which might do us some favours. So we are going to engage in combat with that little male beast patient, and we will play a flay, 2 damage with stagger. He's going to try and hit us back with a basic. Now normally, I have it on the other side to do the stagger at any speed, but I've chosen this side specific because when we're at the start, we've got 3 dodges, and they are so handy compared to the other side, which has got a slow attack where you can't dodge as well. So we're going to hit with that dodge, clear that slot, and that's an extra damage. So that'll be 2, 3 damage. We avoid the damage from him. He's dead. We get a blood echo. And that's the end of the round because we have no more cards to spend, which in some respects is good because what it means is we don't have anything to fight, but the reset means that all enemies go back to where they were. Enemies that have been killed respawn. So the actual situation hasn't changed too much, but I guess we could just rush to the Grand Cathedral. He'll chase us, but we'll be able to reveal that mission. Would it be wise to rush it? I don't know. It might be better to actually just try and mitigate what his movement's going to be by killing him and giving us a bit of space, but maybe I'll just rush the Grand Cathedral just to get more stuff out. So those are our 3 cards. We've got to draw 1, a dodge, and a +1 damage. So we'll spend the draw 1 to move 2, and we'll go 1, and of course heal chasers, and then we'll go 2. We've ended our move on the Grand Cathedral, so we will reveal card number 3. Entering the cathedral, you find its occupants slaughtered. Standing among the corpses is a figure dressed in brilliant silver armour, now stained dark crimson. Surround the Grand Cathedral tile with fog gates spawn the bloody crow of Cainhurst, represented by their token on its lamp space. They respawn on that space on a reset. If this mission is discarded, remove the fog gates and the bloody crow. Slay the bloody crow of Cainhurst. Reveal card 4. We got a boss. And it is the bloody crow of Cainhurst. And there she is. And she is here. Now this is interesting because in no campaign have I had this many people turn up. Well, I've never had more than 1 token on the board at any one time, apart from that time when Yosefka rocks up twice in Murgo's Loft. Either way, this is a bit of a predicament because she's got 10 health. We're pretty far from a reset, actually. I'm just looking at her abilities. She has a Shikage, which is 2 speed, 2 damage. If she's taken 4 or more, it gains +1 and an extra damage. It's got stagger. After resolving all attacks, the bloody crow makes 1 Shikage attack. So she's going to attack twice with a repeating pistol. That's horrible. And I've learned that dodgers don't remove the effects. Oh. Okay, let's go for ending my turn. She'll activate. He's not going to enter the gate. She'll move 1 and she'll attack. I'm going to attack as well, and I'll use a basic +1 on this flare. She will attack with a special, which is 3 speed, 2 damage, stagger. Now, I'm going to dodge. And I believe a stagger can be dodged. It's a grey area in the rules, but I'm assuming that when you dodge the stagger. But that effect won't hit me directly, so that would also activate. So I'll dodge her attack, so I won't take the 3 speed or the 2 damage, but I would manage to get 3 damage onto her. Because 2 damage plus the dodge, clearing the slot. When you dodge, deal 1 damage to all enemies within 1 space. But then she would also make a Shikage attack. And she would do so at 2 speed, 2 damage. She's not suffered any extra, so it's just 2 damage to me. She's nasty. The round advances. I would draw new cards. We'd see where we'd go from there. Let's have a looky. Right. That's not good. I am thinking that we are going to be very wise to... Let's spend this basic +1 to transform our weapon. So we'll clear these, flip it, and now we can stagger at the same speed. And her attacks are very much oriented around staggering and being quicker. So just trying to do a bit of math in my head. If she gets another special, then she's likely to try and do lots of damage, but I can mitigate it all. If, on the other hand, she gets a basic, I can mitigate it. But I'm thinking in the second instance, she won't heal, at least, when I die. Let's just go for it. So I'm going to start off by trying to do a... Oh, but she could stagger us. Ooh, do I want that ability? How many specials have we had? I don't think we've had that many, but I think it's going to be a basic. I'm going to take the risk. We'll go for a Deadly Thrust at 3 damage, +1 is 4 damage. And she is going to try and hit us with a special. Oh, rubbish. No. So she staggers us, which will be 2 damage to us. And then she'll do a basic Shikage attack, and I can't do anything about that, and she'll do another 2 damage, so we are dead. Oh. You can't rely on knowing what is coming and what isn't. So to advance the track for a death, lose that, be able to reset our cards. And then we'd advance it for the end of the round. So we'd be in the hunter's dream. Pants. If I'd had a dodge then, I think I'd have been in a better position. I'll come back on the other side. Oh, better shuffle that in. And we'll come back like that here. Got 1, 2, 3. And we're going to have to deal with that guy as well. We'll play a basic draw 1 to there. To try and deal with that guy straight away, because otherwise he's going to be a problem for us. So we get to draw 1 card, and we'll do 2 damage. I'll leave it face down for a second. Shuffle these up. This expansion so far has been an exciting escapade in showing how badly I can play this game. He's going to try and hit us with a special, which is if Beast Patient is killed unless he was staggered, Hunter suffers 2 damage and poison. We're just not going to kill him then. I was going to dodge and now I'm going to choose not to. So he will suffer... We'll suffer 2 damage no matter what. But I think I'd rather just suffer 2 damage and hold on to it. And he can suffer 2 damage as well. The card we drew was a stagger, okay. Then we'll choose to play a stagger to that, and he'll hit us with a special. This time he was staggered, so that means that he would suffer the damage and be killed. It also means we get a Blood Echo, which is quite nice. Oh, and we're right on top of a reset again. And she does heal everything that she needs to heal. Alternatively, we could go to Yosefka's clinic if we die. If we die, we could respawn at Yosefka's clinic and avoid that mission entirely. Decisions. I really don't like the idea of doing that though, because I've spent a lot of time already trying to take out the bloodied crow. We need to kill her for 10. We'd need a decent hand of cards. And I don't think actually trying to go back and upgrade will do us any favours either. She's going to heal all health on the reset, as any enemy would. You know what, let's do it. We'll interact with the lamp using our basic. And we will teleport to Yosefka's clinic, which will then allow us to reveal card 5. I feel like I have let myself down by not killing the blooded crow, but what can you do? Card 5. Forsaken Summons. A female figure leans over an operating table. The patient on the table spasms and smattering of blood sprays onto the woman. A shame, she speaks before seemingly and suddenly noticing your arrival. Ah, what do we have here? Well, I always have wanted to try my hand on a hunter. Oh god, it's another fight. Surround Yosefka's clinic with fog gates and spawn Yosefka, represented by a token on its space. She respawns on that space on a reset. If this mission is discarded, remove the fog gates and Yosefka. Oh, what is it with all of these people that I'm meeting immediately wanting to kill me? And we know how horrible Yosefka can be based on history. Here's Josefka. They're both about to heal fully anyway. Oh, she's got poison. Oh, we need to foggate it. I think best thing we can do is just try and avoid her. Or we can go back to the dream. Let's go back to the dream. Spend that to go back to the dream. I believe that she would still get an activation to stop me. She gets a basic, which will do 2 damage and poison. I'll go to the dream regardless, that wouldn't matter too much. So that would be a reset, which means that she'd get all the health back. He'd respawn. She'd go back there. And that's it as far as that goes. Which means that I can spend this blood echo to get an upgrade, and we will probably go for... That's a dodge. We'll go for the dodge. We will go for the tactical dodge. And we will get rid of the +1. Put that there. Bring these back in. Heal these to health. Give them a shuffle. And we get a new upgrade card out. I don't think it makes much difference. Nope. Okay, who do we fancy trying to kill? Because we don't really have much of a choice at this point. I feel like it is going to be a case of we either kill Josefka or the Bloodied Crow. The Bloodied Crow has stagger, as does Josefka, but the Bloodied Crow's got more likelihood of triggering a second attack, apart from the fact that she can parry us on the ability. And I feel like we might get lucky with the Bloodied Crow, so let's go for that. We'll respawn here. Draw our 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Anybody want to dodge? And we've got our dodge on. Jeez. Oh, okay, well, we'll spend a dodge to traverse the fog gate, and we'll respawn on her lamp. We will then... We'll end our turn. She'll engage us. We'll use tactical on this flay, which will allow us to attack at +1 speed, and we get to clear the slot after. She'll do a basic. I was meant to advance that for the previous round, apologies. Which is then going to be 2 speed, 2 damage. Ours is 2 speed, 3 speed, 2 damage, so we would hit her first. And then I'm going to dodge using Quick Lash to do 3 damage to her. That gets cleared. This gets cleared. Round ends. She's activated. Job done. It's looking promising for a change. Put those down there. This is my discard. 1, 2, 3. And we've got a dodge, a +1 and a stagger. What health is she on? Oh, we've got that dodge. Oh. I'm going to use my cannon for a 1 speed, 3 damage attack against her. She'll try and hit me back with a basic, so she'll hit first. But I'm going to dodge it. I'm going to dodge it, which is then 3, 4 damage. Which is quite handy because now she's going to be doing mega damage. I clear that slot. I'll play this stagger to Quick Lash. No. Oh, I hate these decisions. It's horrible. And she could do a lot of damage to us very quickly if we're not careful. So I'm going to just risk it. We'll go for the 2 speed, 3 damage attack. 1 card left, and I believe it's going to be a special, so she'll stagger us. So I'm actually going to change that to... I'll change it to a stagger on that speed. I'll end my turn. We'll rebuttal with that. She'll hit us with... Oh, it's an ability! Oh no! The Bloody Crow has taken 4 more damage. She heals 3. And then we hit her for 1. Do abilities trigger before or after? Abilities are resolved immediately, so she would cure those 3, and then I'd do a single damage to her, which would include a stagger, which won't actually do much. The round would end, would advance the track, get new cards. So I've managed to retain a +1 attack because I, in the very last second, chose to end my turn instead of using it to attack. Oh, what a choice. Wowee. Lucky us. So we are going to want to hope that we can get a basic to the top, because then we can actually kill her, even if she will hit us at the same time. There's a lot more basics, so I'm quite wishful. It's when you start to run out of cards that I start to panic. So that's a 3 damage, 2 speed. She'll hit us with a basic, okay. 4 or more damage against +1 speed and +1 damage. So she's actually going to hit us for 3, because she'll hit first as well. But then we'll hit for 3, and that'll be the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more hit is all we need. And I'm going to go for a +1 on that quick clash. Oh, what's my phone saying? Still recording? We are still recording. And we get special. So it's not that bad actually. She can't stagger us because we're hitting at the same speed. So she'll do 2 damage to us and we'll do 2 damage to her, so we'll kill her. So we'll take those 2. It's now on 5. Oh, 1 more and we're dead, but of course that's the 2 that she needed to be killed. If we'd got a Chicago, we'd have done it without being hit then. So she has been slain. The Bloodied Crew is dead. Yosefka's still about, and that makes me scared. But we get a Blood Echo for that, and it says, Bloodied Crew, reveal card 4. Oh, good, we're not done. Discard any other hunt mission cards in play. Distribute the Old Hunter Bone reward among the hunters. Interact with Alfred, reveal card 7. So that is a case of we can no longer fight Yosefka. So she's gone as well. She's decided she's better than us and left, which makes our life a bit easier. So we've just got to interact with Alfred. We get the Old Hunter Bone, which says when you are attacked, automatically dodge that attack. That's an activation, so that's quite nice. We will spend this final card to move 2, because this gate will disappear. And we're right next to a reset, so I'll go 1, 2, end my turn. This enemy will move 1 towards me, and he'll activate and hit us with a special. I'm going to use the Old Hunter Bone, which means that he will... Oh, that might have not been wise. Go back there for the reset, because we automatically dodge it. Yeah, and that's it. We just now need to try and get over to Alfred. 3 cards. Hopefully if we get to Alfred, that'll be towards the end. Draw, stagger, draw. Okay, it's going to take a little bit longer than I want, but I'll spend this draw 1 to move 1. I will spend the other draw 1 to transform the weapon, and I'm going to play my basic yeah, I feel like that was a stupid thing to do. I play the stagger to there, 2 speed, 2 damage. We've just not had a very good round game. I feel like a lot of time was spent fighting the Bloodied Crow, Going to Yosefka's was a gamble, but it didn't pay off. But that's hindsight. When you play this a second time, you'll know that. I don't know. I like that it's fresh, and I like that it is a very raw experience, but my goodness, am I feeling quite raw. I will flip over the enemy activation. It's a basic. We stagger at the same speed with this ability, so we will do 2 damage to him. And then we will advance the track and draw 3 new cards. 1. Hopefully we can actually get a dodge. So we've got 4 dodges, I've not seen many. 2, 3. What we got? We got a stagger, and a draw. Okay, a dodge, sorry, that's quite handy. So it won't matter too much. I'll spend the dagger to the stagger to the quick cut, activate his ability, and it's a basic, so we will hit him first, so he will be killed, because he has only got a 2 speed, 2 damage basic. We're going to stagger him at a faster speed, so he's dead. I'll then spend this other stagger to interact with Alfred. And as long as though he doesn't start going ham on me, we'll be fine. Reveal card 7. We're not done yet. Aha! Is that the sigil of Cainhurst? I've heard tell of Cainhurst nobles and their amusingly pompous invitations. I feel my master's hand at work. Praise the good blood. Let us gather what provisions and supplies we may depart. Reveal card 8. Place 1 for every hunter plus 1 tokens on this card. Hunters ending a move on Alfred's space may discard any number of consumables from their hand. For each one, remove the token. So now we are delivering stuff to Alfred. Because, I mean, we're not all stood on a consumable that you yourself could pick up, Alfred. Spend that to interact with that. We'll get a consumable, which is this card, and we get blood vial, discard it to get rid of an insight. Halfway done. That's how insight missions used to feel. End of the round, advance the track. We will draw 3 new cards. And we have a dodge, dodge, dodge. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 1, pick up is probably all I can do in this round. 1. Will interacting with that help me at all? No, it won't. 2. 1. Pick up that consumable. Aye. What do we get for old Alfred? A pungent blood cocktail. Okay. End of the round, advance the track. 1 more round after this one. He returns again, because we haven't been punished enough. But also, another consumable will appear there. And another consumable will appear there. We may have been actually better just staying there. Yeah, we would have definitely been better just staying at Alfred and wasting around. Feels like a waste, but again, hindsight. Let's have a look what 3 cards we managed to draw. 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of hindsight in this. I always find, like, if you were to do a campaign then do it a second time, the second time you'd just absolutely nail it. Everything. Okay, right. So we'll spend 1, 2. That'd be 4 moves in total, so that'd be 1, 2, 3. We can just discard these, it's not an interaction, so we'll discard them. Reveal card 12. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is definitely one that feels like, even in this first chapter, you needed 2 hunters. Just to try and mitigate the amount of damage that she could do. But 3 hunters, when they're on, what, how much health is it? 18 health for 3 hunters. Yeah, I feel like this is a 2 or a 4. Card 12, a little bit more. We have what we need. Let's cleanse these tarnished streets and depart for the castle. May the good blood guide our way. For Master Logarius! When a hunter moves out of the space with Alfred, it may move them along with him. After a hunter in his space attacks, deal an extra enemy damage. No one gains a blood echo if he slays the enemy. When Alfred moves onto the Courtyard Lamp, reveal card 13. Oh, that is a bit of a trek, Alfred. What are you doing to me? Oh, we can't do this. I don't think it's possible. Because we'd go 1, 2. He'd follow us, then he'd come and he'd kill me. But even so, it'd then be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You do need more than one person. You cannot physically do it. The Courtyard Lamp, it isn't the central lamp either, it's the Courtyard Lamp, the one that's furthest away from us. Which I think this is now a wipe, but we'll do what we can anyway. We'll spend this to move 2. 1, 2. He'll come with us. This beastie will follow us for 1. He'll then activate and he'll move a second 1. And he will attack us with, please be an ability. Oh, we can do it. Because then he'd spawn. But then does he activate? I'll put it this way. I'm going to continue as if he can't activate. If he could activate, game over now because he'd kill us. That'd advance the track, it'd end the game. If we play it as though he can't, which is what I believe happens because he's newly spawned in during the enemy activation, not at the start of the enemy activation, so he hasn't activated, it would be a case of we'd be able to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 with these next cards. But because it's another reset, he'd despawn, he'd go back here, everybody would be on full health again, we would draw 1, 2, 3 new cards. This is the final round. As long as when we get to Courtyard Lamp, it doesn't say the words, kill them all, we'll be fine. Don't matter what those are really, because it's going to be a case of discard to move 2, 1, 2. Discard to move 2, 1, 2. Alfred and our big mate are going to be here. Discard to move 2, 1, 2. And Alfred and Lurch. We've got Alfred onto the Courtyard Lamp. We now reveal card 13. This is the final action in the game. As long as the card 13 says you win, Cainhurst awaits, off we go. Okay. The glow of the lamp is familiar to you, but gazing within it you feel something creep into your mind. Visions of the executioners of the vile bloods, zealous fanatics, slain nobles, echoes of past events and dark deeds. Choose one. Side with the executioners, reveal card 14. Side with the vile bloods, reveal card 16. Now Alfred is an executioner, and I'm thinking I haven't got a lot of actual stuff I can do against him, because if he activates now, he's going to rip me a new one. So I'm going to choose to side with Alfred and the executioners this time. Well, that's not good. That's game over. Forsaken summons. Entering the glow of the lamp, you see a figure lustering silver armour, a mask adorning them. Yet there is something otherworldly, almost ethereal, about them. Before you can contemplate this further, they raise a sword and attack. Surround the Courtyard Lamp with fog gates, spawn one vile blood knight on its space, respawn on a reset. Complete the hunt by slaying the vile blood knights, reveal cards 15 and 18. And of course that is the end of the game. Because I have no more cards, the track has hit its end, the night is over, and I have managed to fail that. But it was fun. This expansion feels like it needs 2 players just from the off. I mean, Yusefka and the Bloodied Crow of Cainhurst, yeah, they're not exactly tough enemies, but one person with no upgrades, and that's a very obscure, very complicated tile. We should have been able to do things better, I'll admit. That one, on the other hand, I feel like I'd have really struggled because Yusefka's got poison and she's got stagger, and I believe that she has also got an instant stagger. Yeah, she has. She's got that instant stagger move at 3 speed unless you dodge. It's really, really tricky. I probably didn't help myself either by picking, by randomly drawing the church servants because they did a lot of damage to me. But even if I'd killed them and gone that way, it wouldn't have exactly helped or anything. I don't know. As I keep saying, and I'll use that word again, it's probably hindsight, but hey, I enjoyed this, and I'm definitely going to be playing it again in about 10 minutes when I've had time to stop contemplating over what could have gone right. I do want to play this campaign fully on video, but I also don't want to give away too many spoilers, so just let me know in the comments if that would be something that people would want to see. I know some people have said they've avoided quite a lot of my content because of spoilers, and I completely appreciate that. You know, I've not watched many playthroughs of anyone else unless I've done the campaign myself. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying doing this, and if you guys are enjoying watching it, I'd be more than happy to either continue this campaign, or if you've got a request of something, please let me know. Thank you ever so much for watching for this long. I will catch you next time.